Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Reasonably Effective podcast. I'm 10 Types, as always, joined by Uncommon Fossil.
Pleased to be here. I think, although we always talk about the podcast a little bit first, and I think this has been the most contentious preparation for a podcast I can remember. I got to say, it's a bit odd how to approach this, I would say.
Yeah, because today we're talking about something. This is something I was considering making my own video on. I ended up not doing that, but it's a topic that's about Pokemon TCG abilities. This is a video idea I actually got from the YouTube channel Mock Rock, or maybe the second channel, I don't remember. But that's a Smash Bros. Focused channel, and on that channel they did, there's different moves, and they did the best move of each type. The abilities are, I don't have them grouped into categories, or I kind of will mention that eventually, but and then the idea was taking a I'll just use it as the Pokemon example, taking a Pokemon like a card, but put random stats on it, random HP, damage, attack, cost, retreat, stage as well. Though we'll talk about the stage. We're going to kind of talk about that in a second, but you have Pokemon with randomized stuff, and then you can slap an ability. What's the best ability to put on that Pokemon most often? So that's where I got inspiration for this idea. But we're taking a look at all the abilities in standard, or we're not going to look at all of them, but we have looked at all of them, I think. And I originally had them grouped into categories, but it's kind of weird and kind of messy. And relating to the stage thing, we're going to do two separate lists. First of all, we're going to do a list ignoring stage, or we're going to do a list where we're saying the ability is like the same as the stage that it was originally on. So, for example, Sylveon and Mimikyu have the same ability. Well, it's essentially the same ability, and they're different Pokemon and they're on different stages. So, for that reason, Mimikyu's is theoretically better because it's on a basic, right? But
Yeah.
if they're on like whatever stage, then they're the same. And do we actually want to just start there?
Yeah. So go ahead. So wait. So what were the Pokemon you mentioned there?
Yeah, so I mentioned Mimikyu and your favorite Sylveon and also Aegislash. They all have. Wait, I actually don't remember the ability on Aegislash, what the name is. Okay, so it's called Mysterious Shield on Aegislash. It's called Safeguard on both Mimikyu and Sylveon, and Mimikyu's and
Right.
Sylveon is technically different, but they wall off EXs. Two of them wall off Vs, but Vs aren't in the game anyways, so they stop damage from attacks, not effects of attacks. And this ability is good, right? It walls off most of the best Pokemon in the game. This is kind of like a theoretical game that we're talking about because we're talking about these in a vacuum on potentially different Pokemon where other Pokemon might be different, but EXs are still going to be good, and walling them is very nice.
Right. Walling off essentially all rule box Pokemon in the game right now.
Yeah, or all of them.
Obviously,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, eventually, right, there'll be
Oh,
some new type, right? Some new mechanic that these don't, as
probably.
things happen. Yeah, assuming, right? So it gets interesting because obviously Mimikyu's a basic. It's really good. It's on my list. I had pulled Sylveon off just because I like Sylveon a lot. The single price Sylveon that walls off just EXs, not Vs, but right now that doesn't matter at all. And then the other one you said was which was the third Pokemon?
Yes, Aegislash, I think is what I said. Oh, we're also
Okay.
recording this when on Pokemon TCG Live, the Marnies and Stevens decks are out, but not the other Destined Rivals stuff. So I'll mention the Crustle from the rest of Destined Rivals, which is like the same thing. So it's the same ability as Sylveon, I believe, exactly. And so I figured I'd mention that. And I think the ability is
Yeah.
good. I guess we should talk about defensive abilities right now because there's a bunch of them. And we're going to kind of
Yeah.
compare them,
Well,
right?
yeah. So the whole evolution thing, a couple things. First, Mimikyu. And we're doing it in a vacuum, but what does that mean? There's different ways to take it. I mean, there is Mew EX in format, and even if it's not that, there's something else probably in a rule box that can copy attacks. Because of Mimikyu's HP is 70 and its attack places 7 damage counters, it can be one shot by Mew EX, right? So that's a negative to it. Whereas what I like about Sylveon, its HP is higher, which is good. It's an evolution, that's a negative, but its attack also isn't placing damage counters, it's doing damage. So something like Mew EX that would copy attacks doesn't hit through it. So I like that a lot. And even the other one that you said there, the
Aegislash, that hits through.
It's through. So that's a bit of a negative to it as well. And it's a stage two. So I would probably put that behind the Sylveon, I would think. But
Yeah.
those are some of the stage issues. Obviously, it's easy to get the basic and play, but it's got certain downsides to
Yeah,
it.
well, actually, because we're talking about these like in a vacuum, more or less, then it's going to have a different attack, right? So then the attack issue does matter for the actual card, and it kind of depends what you want to do with it, but that doesn't actually really change the difference between Sylveon or Mimikyu for that regard, which is like kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's where the whole in a vacuum is kind of weird because for Mimikyu, the fact that the attack places 7 damage counters and it has 70 HP, those things together are to Mimikyu's detriment, right?
Yeah,
So it gets it very right. It's kind of weird, right? So like if Mimikyu had 80 HP, all of a sudden that attack factor wouldn't be so bad. You just
yeah.
survive at least one attack. So this is where it gets a little arbitrary to what extent because we're ignoring it for the most part. But I don't know if I can fully ignore those things either.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. But anyways, Mimikyu's better than Sylveon. I think, I know you like Sylveon, but
Yeah.
and there are some upsides of it, but I think Mimikyu's definitely better. I mean, it's the same ability, but yeah. And then there's a bunch of other defensive abilities. I think the most similar is Cornerstone Mass Ogerpon EX ability. Oh, I can't find it. What is this order? Okay. So it walls Pokemon with abilities, which is all the Pokemon. But no, it's a lot of Pokemon in standard. We're kind of comparing it to standard now. And yeah, this ability is really good in standard, and it walls a lot of good Pokemon. It doesn't wall everything though. I feel like walling EX is a little better, but I'm not really sure.
Well, there is, and you didn't mention, right? There's the one that walls Terra Pokemon, right? That I don't think's
Oh
on.
yeah,
We're going to talk about.
yeah, there's also the walls basic EXs, which is like definitely worse. But yeah, there's the Milotic.
Right. And that's a Milotic EX, right? So
Yeah. Oh,
it
and
has
that
higher
stops.
HP.
Yeah, and it stops effects of attack. Sorry, I forgot that, which is meaningful theoretically.
Yeah, so it's useful in that sense. So it's could potentially be better, but it affects a lot less Pokemon than just all EXs. So that's why it's not there. But again, you can make arguments. If we were focusing on an era, we might dig into those things more. Yeah, so Cornerstone Mask stops all Pokemon with abilities, which is it better or worse than the rulebook? It's probably a little worse, I would say, but it obviously helps against other Pokemon. So I would probably put Mimikyu's ability above Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon, although I think if we're kind of doing a top 10 list, Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon, I think, but is potentially in the top 10.
Yeah. But I have some other ones because these are like the true walling ones. These cards see play, but they also have like pretty solid attacks. We're going to talk about some other cards that
Yep.
have pretty bad other stuff. But the next one, uh, in terms of defensive abilities, I guess I'll say Dreadnought. Dreadnought is pretty interesting with Impervious Shell. This is a card that actually
Yep.
is theoretically a really strong ability. And we were kind of talking about this, and we are like, saying how good are these abilities beyond something like Dragapult EX, because you said that was like the best Pokemon in the game without an ability. I guess Badoo's also up there, but they're very different. So we'll say Dragapult
Yeah.
EX. And the ability on Dreadnought here is prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon if that damage is 200 or more. So that stops you from getting one-shotted most of the time with Dreadnought and on a lot of Pokemon. And you can boost your HP using various tools and stuff like that, so you can never get one-shotted by like normal stuff. So Dreadnought's a really, really interesting ability in my opinion. Honestly, just in standard, but it's an ability that's like not really talked about, which is kind of why we're doing this, right? To talk about weird
Yeah.
abilities. And Dreadnought, I don't think is as good as like Mimikyu and Cornerstone my Sucker Pond, but it is still quite good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Dreadnought's not a good Pokemon. I don't think the single prize one, but yeah, I mean, it's on my list of cards for consideration. It is, like I said, like if like so because like Dragapult is one of the best. Arguably, it's the best Pokemon without an ability. You can debate that, but it could be. It's definitely in contention. And like if you put this ability on Dragapult, now you cannot get one shot, right? It would be just insane on that. Obviously, on Dreadnought, it's got 140 HP. You can still get one shot, and its attacks, not the best thing. Also, so um,
Oh, sorry,
it,
random thing. So the
but
attack is three colors, hard crunch.
yeah,
It does 80, but 160 if your opponent's active has more damage counters on it. And I was just thinking about this, like literally just now when I saw it, I was like, oh, three colors, so you can use it with Ignition Energy, which is like the same as Triple Acceleration Energy from a while
right.
ago, which is better than Reversal Energy. Oh, I don't know if it is, but it works like any turn. one turn. That's an interesting combo. It obviously doesn't really relate too much to this video, but I figure that's an interesting thing to know because again, Dreadnought is a cool card that no one is really plays now.
Right. Cards like this will get better. You'll have, if you're going to play a Dreadnought deck, now you have two special energies that can power it up, right? That work in different situations with different downsides. So it makes these cards viable. I like that. I don't think it's obviously very Pokemon specific how good Impervious Shell is. So I think if because I think we're trying to put together a top 10 list. I can't imagine this makes the top 10 though.
Yeah, that's probably true. Then I have some other attacking abilities. I got, unless you want to suggest some as well, but
Well, there's Vanillux. Let me
oh, okay,
call that
I
one.
don't have that one. That's
All
interesting.
right. So another stage two Pokemon. It's a walling of a different type. It's defensive. It frigid room on your opponent's Pokemon that have 840 HP or less can't attack. So it's a fun one to kind of play with. It's obviously awkward to get set up, but potentially you get things set up and your opponent just can't attack the rest of the game.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting. This is one I have. What it was played with, or I guess it still can be played with Serena EX, and I've seen it in some other things as well. Did you put it in your GLC deck that you made?
Um, Mm, I think I built a water deck, yes, and it was a disaster. It was my first GLC deck ever that I didn't want to look at deck lists. So I think it was like a spread deck that included this, and it was like 5 stage 2 Pokemon. So that's probably not good for GLC.
Yeah, or standard.
That's
Five
true
different
too.
stages. But
Yeah.
anyways, Vanilla, yeah, it's interesting. I feel like it's definitely not that good. Like it can be kind of crazy, but it's very situationally crazy. And then most of
Yeah.
the time it won't really be doing like anything at all. It's kind of a cool ability. But then I have one that's really interesting, which is Espathra. I don't remember if there are other cards with the same ability, but it are in standard with the same ability. But there's Stance, which says when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you prevent all damage from and effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon until the end of your opponent's next turn. And we're kind of, I think, assuming if this is on a basic, then it works on basics as well. And this is like a really good ability, obviously, because you're just invincible the one turn. But you need to obviously use it on the. I mean, you could theoretically return it to your hand and use it again, but you should use it the turn you attack with it as well. But it's a really interesting ability. I've played this card a little, and I've definitely seen it some, not like that much, but it's a really interesting one, and it is like really strong as well, kind of.
Yeah, well, I mean, this card 120 HP potentially does 140 at the most, and you're playing the Zatu engine, which we all kind of know how that the struggles with that. So, the Espathras I don't think is a good Pokemon, but the ability it's an interesting one. If it was on a obviously you need a good attacker because I don't. Do you really want to attack with Espathra? I
No,
don't think you
Espathra's
do.
attack's not there yet. As I said, I saw it. It was in Espathra EX stacks, and I guess Espathra EX is
Yeah.
also weak, and so this can actually be like okay strength, and you probably play Tulip, which is what you need for this, to do the extra damage. So it's like not super great though, but it is annoying. Like being completely invincible is really nice, and buying a free turn is really good. In general, you'll often be buying that free turn. They're not always because your opponent might be able to just gust around you or something like that as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you put it on a good attacking Pokemon, a Pokemon that you like to attack with, and again, we can say, imagine if you put on Dragapult EX, you play Dragapult, now you have one turn that you know you're immune to, so that would be nice. You probably, but Dragapult's tough to knock out, so like a basic EX Pokemon, right? If you put it on Raging Bolt, right?
Yeah.
That would be pretty crazy there, right? So I'm not sure in a vacuum how we evaluate it. It could be great, but it probably isn't great most of the time.
Yeah, and I have actually another card with this, I guess, a similar ability, and this is a basic EX, which is Pikachu EX's ability, which is
Yeah.
Resolute Heart, which says if you are at full HP and would be one-shotted, then you're not, and instead your remaining HP becomes 10. Again, this is stopping one-shots. It's actually kind of weird on Pikachu EX because, I mean, yes, it's always good to live attacks, I guess, but also it's a Pokemon that doesn't have a very repeatable attack. It can be used multiple times, but it's pretty awkward because you discard all the energy and it's Grass Lightning Metal. But this is obviously an ability that is like it's solid. I feel like people don't really talk about the ability that much. It's not always good. There are definitely matchups where it like doesn't really do anything, but this is interesting and also like it is kind of comparable to Espathra. I don't really know which one's better, honestly.
Yeah. If it would be, and then we have well, let me toss him a champ here because it's
Okay.
similar. I assume you have that one
Oh,
too,
I
right?
did
With the
not. I
guts.
didn't. I cut it.
All right, it's
Wait,
got
I
this
can't
got the
find
guts
it.
ability. It which is used on other Pokemon in the past. The same thing. If it would be knocked out by damage from an attack, you flip a coin. If heads, it's not knocked out, it goes to 10 HP. So if you hit heads, it's the same as Pikachu. And actually, if you hit heads, it's better than Pikachu in the sense that you don't have to have full HP to start with, right? If they can ding your Pikachu, then they can one shot you. The Machamp's not affected by that, unless of course you're down to 10 HP, and then you get knocked out. But that's the same thing with Pikachu as well.
Wait for
Um,
Machamp
so
EX.
it goes down to 10. So it can
Wait,
already
but
be
if it's at
damaged.
10, can it? Are you sure it doesn't work? I think it
Oh,
works
it'll
if
be
it's at
knocked
10
out by
too.
damage. Well, if they did something to place a damage counter, right? But you're right.
Um,
Um,
wait, oh,
but
like after, yeah,
after, like the following turn, like you
yeah,
attack the following turn, it's more vulnerable at that point. But it's still better than if it's once Pikachu has damage on it, the Machamp Guts is better, that ability, right? So
yeah.
it probably is worse because it's a coin flip, but it's very it's similar to Pikachu, I would say.
Yeah, I guess that we should also mention. I don't. Oh yeah, this is. I got Skiploom. There's Jumpluff.
Yeah.
I think there's Kecleon as well, which is just a muted damage on a coin flip, which is like interesting. I think they're all the same. Skiploom has Drifting Dodge again, just like immunity on a coin flip from damage, which is like interesting. I have actually seen this as well, not that much, but a little bit. And so it's kind of interesting. And then again, the Kecleon is a basic, so that can wall, but I haven't like seen anyone use it. I thought it was going to be played just a little bit in control. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anyone play control post rotation on the ladder, but this ability, I think this one would be better than Machamp because you take no damage on a coin
Right.
flip as opposed to just taking less damage.
That's true. It's just better than that. And actually, I think Skip, because I put Skip Loom as the rest of the representative for myself, as I think is what you did.
Yeah.
Drifting Dodge. If you put Drifting Dodge on a Pokemon that you want to attack with that doesn't have an ability, because usually you're not having multiple abilities, it also becomes really good. You put this on Raging Bolt. I think, oh, I'm gonna cry and go home when my opponent plays Raging Bolt down, right?
Yeah.
Um, and obviously, if you put it on Dragapult, again, you cry and you just go home when your opponent plays that card. Because if you're only knocking out those cards every other turn on average, you're just, you're going to lose. So potentially, it's if it's on a good attacker, this ability would be pretty busted.
Yeah, I feel like it's still worse than Question Master Ogre EX or Mimikyu's ability. I'm not sure though. I mean, it's pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Pikachu EX would be a lot better. The Resolute Heart ability would be a lot better if the attack was different. If you didn't lose all the energies for the attack, for instance, right?
Yeah.
Because now you have to get three different energies accelerated, which is awkward. So if you had an attack that you already powered up, it would be a lot better. So I don't, again, and that's where look, part of it is we're trying to, in a vacuum, we're breaking down Pokemon's design. It's where they think these things through, and we're trying to say, supposing we're card designers and we're idiots, right? That's kind of what we're doing, I would say today.
Yeah, we're one of those.
We are one of those, yes. So fair enough. So yeah, so what do you think in potential top 10? I don't know if any of these make the top
I
10,
think I think
but
not Pikachu EX. I think Pikachu EX again is like kind of weaker than the other ones. I think Skiploom, the Ogerpon, and the Mimikyu are all good. I think again Pikachu is good, but it's a little more situational, in my
okay.
opinion.
Okay, so Skiploom, Pikachu, and the Cornerstone Mask
No,
Ogerpon?
not Pikachu. Is what I was thinking.
Not Pikachu.
Yeah, if you want
So
to get
so
rid of one
maybe
though, we need to get rid of some like very
so
quick
maybe so maybe Skiploom, you think?
to get rid of or to keep.
Or to keep? What are you thinking to keep is what I'm saying.
I'm not really sure, honestly. I think it's as I said, I think it's maybe Skiploom. I kept Skiploom, Ogerpon, and Mimikyu, but that's a
Y-
bunch.
Yeah, I don't think right with Mimikyu and Ogerpon, those Cornerstone Mask, those might be the only two that really make it from this set of cards.
Yeah, that's fair. So I'll get rid of the Skiploom, and then we have some more tanky abilities. I think. What do I have? Yeah, so I have some HP boosting ones as well. Oh, I have Aegis Slash. Let me get rid of that. So I have the This is such a mess to scroll through. Okay, so there's Brambleghast, which gets 50 more HP for each prize your opponent's taken, and then there is Wigglytuff EX, which just gets a straight 100 extra HP if you have any special energy attached to it. I think Wigglytuff EX's ability, Expanding Body, with that extra 100 HP is nice, but you need the special energy. And Brambleghast, I feel like for a lot of the game, will be getting more HP, so I think Brambleghast is probably better than Wigglytuff EX, or the ability
Y-
is.
Yeah, I don't know that I put Wigglytuff down at the end of the day. I mean, it takes a special energy set, right? So
Yeah, so it's a little awkward at times.
which limits it, right? And like in the vacuum, we'd still keep the special energy aspect, I assume. So yeah, I mean, plus 50 HP, that means halfway through the game you're adding 150 HP, and you're getting 200 down two prizes. That's assuming it's like on an EX Pokemon. That it's insane, right? It would be broken, I would
Yeah,
say. So
I
I
mean it's
think
still like
Resilient
really
Soul.
high HP as a single prizer with only 100 HP to start with, which is like kind of crazy. So yeah, I think this ability could be really good. It's definitely a card that I've been interested in playing with, but its attack's bad. Well, it's not terrible, but it's
Yeah.
like a lot of coin flips, and you need a lot of energy.
Right. I mean, if you had this ability on a yeah, even with a low HP, not even a Roblox Pokemon, but with a Pokemon with a good attack, all of a sudden it would get scary.
Yeah,
So yeah, all right, I'm trying to find that. Yeah, the listing thing's really awkward because we did our listing live, and it starts just making the order really random. So
yeah. And
unfortunately,
then let's see, what do I have? I think that's it for tanky abilities. Do you have any others?
let's see. Buffalant want to bring
Oh,
into this,
okay.
right?
Oh wait, sorry. Are
And
we gonna
what?
keep Espathra's on play invincibility?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Right now, I have Mimikyu. I think Mimikyu, the Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon, and Bramblegast are the strongest ones at this point.
Okay. So you said Bouffalant with Curly Wall, right? Which
You
says
want you read that because I'm looking through my list here.
yeah,
Why don't
so
you read
curly
that one?
wall, or I guess yeah, so it says if you have one other Boufflant in play, but we're going to say one other of that same Pokemon in play, then you wall 60, your colorless Pokemon wall 60. I guess it's that type of Pokemon. It doesn't matter that much in this situation,
Yeah.
but yeah, this is like kind of interesting. Obviously, you do have you need like two of the same Pokemon, and or it's already on a basic, and it's already on like a pretty good type. I feel like it wouldn't get much better than it is now, and it's like pretty solid, but not insane. It also doesn't stack, so like that's I mean, if it's stacked, it would obviously be better. I think it's just okay. I think it's definitely not there personally.
Okay. I mean, it's potentially in what that Terapagos deck. People do argue that could be the best deck, and
The
this could be
best
is
deck.
one. I've heard it. I've heard people say it, but people say silly stuff as people listen to us obviously know that. So, yeah. So that's fine. I don't. It might not make it. If it's stacked, it would probably be a different matter, right?
Maybe. I mean, I think it's okay. Like taking less damage is cool. Like there's even arm moves, yes, which I don't have here, but that like you take 80 less if you have full HP. And I feel like taking less damage is generally not insane. Um, I feel like you want like either insane, like Bramble is crazy HP boosting, and then the other ones are just complete immunity. So I feel like they're a little better. But
Yeah. That's fair. I don't mind taking it off. I think I'm fine with not saying. I think it's worth bringing up. I think it's a good card, but I don't think it's going to be top 10 worthy. I think so. We're cutting through things fast, make me nervous, but we still have a lot of cards I think we could
fast, I
talk
don't, I
about.
don't know if we're that fast.
Well,
Okay, so what do we want to
I
move
have
on to?
I have a related card that is half this and half something else, and that's Okie Dokie.
Ooh, I forgot that one. Yeah, that's
So you did. It's not sure. So Okie Dokie, it's a basic. It's got the Adrena power ability. If Pokemon has darkness energy attached, and the attacks are fighting, so it's one of those cards that needs a different type of
yeah.
energy
Oh
that no
yeah,
one wants
and
to use.
you said Pokemon, but this Pokemon.
Yeah, this Pokemon gets plus 100 HP and does another 100 damage, and obviously plus 100 HP, good. Plus 100 damage, very good. Usually if you're trying to play this deck, you'd be using like a luminous energy, so that would cover part of your attack cost. That would cover part of the attack cost and the darkness at the same time. So, what do you think about something like that?
I think it's interesting. It's kind of awkward because again, like the energy, you need the energy. Like, so I don't have Monkey Dory or Pheasant if you're on the list, which both
Okay.
need the darkness energy. Do you have either of those?
Oh, not Pheasantipede EX. Do I
No,
have
yeah,
Monkey
Pheasant.
Dory? I don't remember now. I have to look if I did, but
Yeah,
I And I can't remember how to spell it either. I'm terrible with that with
Well, that's
spelling.
fine. So anyway, Okie dokie. I think it's okay. It's like it's again 100 extra damage is like kind of crazy, and 100 extra HP is also good. Like its attacks, its HP is okay, and its attack is kind of bad, specifically because the ability. And even this card is like all right. I think the ability is actually really good. Obviously, again, it is situational, but it can be really strong. So I
So,
just
so,
added
so
it to the deck and it's inserted it like into the middle of the deck, which is weird. But yeah, I think
okay.
it's all right. I think it's
So
in consideration.
here's, and I do have Monkey Dory, so we'll talk about that real quickly. The idea of in a vacuum for this card, which I'm the
Okie
Okie
dokie.
Dokie, it would be it attacks with I think 2 energy attacks still because that's important. I
I mean, it could
think,
be a different type, I think, and
but
they're a different cost,
and I
but
guess,
it's
but
like not.
it couldn't. But you have to attach an energy not of the same type you attack with. The attack cost would have to be, at least be one, though. It can't be a free attacker, right? With this ability, that wouldn't work, right? You need to
I guess I
you
feel
need
like
to
it just
attach.
needs to be at least like not. This doesn't pay the attack cost, right? That's kind of the idea.
Right.
I could
Yeah.
use Luminous,
So
but which it does.
right, you could do luminous with something with an evolution, right? If I'm remembering things properly,
Um,
or is
what?
that
No, you're thinking reversal.
oh
Luminous,
reversal?
yeah,
Sorry,
or
luminous. Yeah.
Prism, which is now, yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I think two energies too, because I don't want one luminous to pay for the attack and cover this. I think right. It
I don't
would
know. I
it,
feel
it
like that could make it good. Regardless, I think it's like I mean,
You
generally
think
one
it's coming up
attack.
short?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it like I don't think most one energy attacks are kind of bad. So I think you're looking for a stronger attack to get like even more value out of it. I think it's okay. I don't think it's quite good enough. Like it relies on having solid HP already and solid damage, and that's something you just don't always find that consistently. I do like. I think I like the other attacks or the other things more. While we're at
Okay.
it, because we're talking about this was like related to the HP stuff, but also it's related to damage stuff, and there's some other damaging abilities that I want to talk about. I have the Galvantula with its ability Compound Eyes, which says you do 50 more to Pokemon with abilities on your opponent's active, so that's pretty good. I'd argue that might be better. I'm not sure. It's like less complicated. It's not to everything, but it's pretty solid. Then there's also there's Hop Snorlax, which says your Hops Pokemon do 30 more, which are assuming the Pokemon it's attached to is that type, and there's maybe a few others, but that's like also solid damage boosting. So I don't know. I feel like they're all okay. Okidogi is good. I'm not sure if it's quite there though. I'm not sure
That's
if any of
fine.
them are.
Okay. I just brought it up because it had to do with plus HP, right? But it also then
Yeah.
made a transition to something else. So, that's fine. I think Moki Dogi doesn't make it. I do have some other cards in the damage modification. If that's what we're going to next, I assume you do as
Yeah.
well.
Do you think either of those were fine? The
Which well,
the
Okie Doke. Well, first off, you mentioned Monkey Dory, so I have it on my list. But the problem with Monkey Dory is you have to always get with its abilities, you have to get an energy attached that you don't need, which most decks
yeah,
doesn't work
which is the
well.
same
So
issue as with Okidogi.
yeah, so I think we can leave those off then. The Okie Dokie Monkey Dory, and then which ones did you bring up?
Yeah, so Galvantula is just 50 more damage to Pokemon with abilities, to active Pokemon with abilities, which is like, it's a bunch of Pokemon and 50 extra damage. It's not 100, but it's like not requiring extra energy. And then I
Yeah,
also mentioned Hop Snorlax, where you guarantee you do 30 more, and all your Hops Pokemon do as well. And we're kind of assuming that whatever this Pokemon is, it's within that category, like it's within its own category. Um, and it's
okay.
kind of
So
weird.
I what I'll say is I think that the plus 50 off the Galvantula, I don't know if it's always enough, right? So that's a
Yeah,
question. So I don't think so. And obviously, if I don't think 50 is enough, 30 is definitely not enough. But for the advantage to hops, as well, just say is first off, it's to all Pokemon, and then also there is what the stadium or something that there's other ways to boost the damage. So, but we're
yeah.
not taking that into account here, right? So I think they probably come up both short there.
Yeah. And there's some like weird stuff with hops as well. And those are all my plus damage Pokemon, I think. Oh, well, I have some that do damage. I guess I'll mention. Do you have others that are like more similar?
Let's see. Did we bring up? Oh, we did bring up a guest already. So sorry. Well, there's for alligator,
Oh, I forgot for
which
Alligator as
which
well. For
I
Alligator's good.
and he's like your boy. I don't know how
Yeah,
you forgot for
my
alligator
favorite
there.
deck.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, you like it. So I'm not as big a fan of it as you. but it right, you put 5 damage counters on it and do 120 more damage, and that 120 is meaningful, I would say.
Yeah, I think for alligator actually probably gets. I mean, that's just a lot of extra damage. The self damage usually isn't an issue. It's not really an issue. And for alligator, I mean, it can have positives. It's usually not positive. It's usually better than not self damage, but it's not that bad. And then again, you have it's just so much extra damage. So yeah, I think for alligator is actually really good. Again, I don't know how I forgot that one, but yeah, that one is quite strong.
So yeah, so I think that can make at this point I'd put that on the list, right?
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Okay, and well, let's see. Diplin's related, but let's hang off on that a second. Well, it's weird, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't have Diplin. I have another one of those.
I think I have a Skeledirge here, right? Let me just double check that does more damage if I'm
Oh
remembering.
yeah, Skeletor's EX.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
Skeletor's
which does
EX. Oh, you want to say it?
and that's a very good ability. You discard a fire basic fire energy. I assume if we were making it more generic, it would be some other type, but it's the same type this Pokemon tax for of energy. You discard an energy and it does 60 more damage, and it can stack if you have multiple Skeledirges. So that is, that can be quite nice there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 6 extra damage, and it is on any type of Pokemon as well. It's a specific type of energy, but any Pokemon can do extra damage. I think I saw this with Arceus EX, maybe, or it's not Arceus EX, Arceus V-Star.
Okay.
I don't even know if they were in format together. I think they were. Yeah, they were. So I saw that like once or twice. It's interesting, and obviously, if it wasn't on stage two, it would be better. Oh wait, are you? Yeah, you're still there, right? Oh, I disconnected. Okay, well,
So,
oh, sorry, are you there?
okay. Yeah, I am. You hear me?
Yeah, I lost Wi-Fi for a second or something.
Okay.
Did you?
Um,
No.
I heard you drop out. I don't think I lost it, but I heard you cut out. So you were talking about you saw it with what, Arceus or
Arceus.
something?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. But yeah,
No.
it can do more damage to any type can do more damage, which is interesting. And so yeah, Skeletor is definitely it's a solid. It's a good chunk of extra damage, and if it wasn't on stage two, it would be better.
Well, let me say this. Imagine it was on a basic Pokemon. Are you not slapping this into your Charizard deck?
I guess you are, and I guess you could even slap it into you'd slap it into Dragon Ball, you slap it into Charizard. You might even just slap it into like um I was gonna say Goldango, which is like kind of stupid. You could slap it in Goldango.
So Skeletor is your EX. The ability gets a huge. Right now, it's on a stage 2. If it was on a potential, if we took away the stage, right? If this one goes to a basic, the ability jumps up a lot. I would say.
Yeah, so I think I guess it probably makes it for now.
Okay. I mean, as a stage 2, it doesn't make it, right? I don't think, but I think as a basic, it could be.
Yeah,
Because
this was one of the first abilities that doesn't also need to be on your main attacker, which is also really good.
yeah, it's just a support Pokemon straight up there. So, yeah, so that one's kind of nice. What do I have? Maybe I don't have anything else that's exactly within this same concept. So, do you have something else?
Yeah, well, no, I have some that are like related that do damage. They're more related than Diplin. We have first of all, we have I've lost it, Meowscarada EX, which play I guess I have Meowscarada EX and Dusknoir, and I might have Dusclops as well. Obviously, Dusclops weaker than Dusknoir, but it is a stage one. But Meowscarada EX has the ability you can discard a basic grass energy from your hands. This is kind of like the Skeledirge EX, and then you place 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. And then there's also the of course Dusknoir, which knocks itself out and places um, 13 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon.
Right.
Obviously different cards there, but
Yeah, I didn't put. I had Masquerada initially, and I cut it out. I don't think it's gonna go. I think discarding an energy to place 3 damage counters isn't going to be good enough most of the time. I would say even whatever the type is, that's my sense there.
yeah,
I
that's
think
fair.
Dusknoir's obviously very good. We have Dusknoir and the Dust
The
Skull,
Sklops,
Dusclops.
Glops,
I get confused with the line. So
yeah,
um, and obviously it sees play as it is. So a decent amount. So I think that one I think we have to consider, right?
yeah. I guess that one on a basic would actually be truly broken, because you'd probably just win turn one, honestly.
Yeah, they would have to the day they printed that card, they would ban it from expanded format immediately. I
Yeah,
would
and
imagine.
standard, right? It like got it banned and expanded essentially too, because you could use it turn one pretty much, the stage one at
Yeah,
least. So yeah, this
right.
ability is really good.
Yeah, so I think that one sticks around. And you agree the Meowscarada, we can drop that.
Yeah, we can get that out of there. Then we have, I think that's it for damage. I will say, I don't know. I've won. Oh, you said yeah, festival lead, right? Unless you had something else like Dusknoir.
No, the festival lead is the Diplin, and there's also the other ones too. With festival lead, what you can attack twice if you have the festival ground stadium in play. So, obviously, potentially very good. The attackers that have this ability aren't great, which are not over, which is good, right? If you put this on a really strong attacker, it would again, if you put this on Dragapult,
Exactly.
I
That'd be
think
scary. You'd lose. You just
right,
win.
I think you would, right? So, or a lot of things, right? You put it on chart, you put it on any big attacker, it would just be too brutal. So, um, in the vacuum, it's pretty scary.
Yeah. And we're like assuming, I mean, the stadium already just like doesn't really do anything, right? It's
Right.
very niche, and so it's just like, festival grounds, and you just do double attacks, and that's really good. Yeah, I mean, it's just very, very strong, I think. Again, it needs to be on the attacker, but it is very good. Then I guess I have another, this one isn't like that similar, but I don't know where to put it. So this is Togekiss with, from Surging Sparks with Wonder Kiss, which is the ability,
Right.
this is arguably my least favorite ability in the game. It says whenever your opponent takes a knockout, or no, whenever your opponent's active is knocked out, you flip a coin. If heads, you take an extra prize card. It does not stack though.
Yeah, right. This is getting you to the win condition a little bit faster. So, um, yeah, it's obviously if this was on a strong attacker, again, it gets crazy, right? Again, like, you put this on
Um,
Dragapult
yeah,
EX
I mean, it doesn't need
or
to be a new
something.
attack, right? They can be on like anywhere. If it's on a cheaper or on like a lower stage Pokemon, because it's like it's attacks. I mean, it's not that good, but it's kind of usable.
Right, but if you put this on a Pokemon you want to attack with again, if you put it on, oh, that's true. It's sitting on the bench. So, I does it make the top 10 or not? That's
I
a
don't
good
like it, so
question,
I'll
right?
say no.
All right, that's fine. I don't like it in the game either. So, we'll let our biases dictate that one there. So, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Um, oh, I had one where if we're talking, this is what we're talking about damaging our opponents right now, right?
Yeah, I guess
That's
we're kind
the
of like
play.
drifting away from that more and more, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So where do you want to go next?
I'll go with I don't know. I'll go with this is like kind of get weird from there. I we can go with switching. Yeah, let's do that. So there's a couple. There's I don't know. There's a best one. I have Latias EX, which I guess is good. I mean, for your treat on basics is obviously good. But then you have an objectively better Pokemon. There's a few objectively better ones that are stage twos, but there's Gengar, which just allows you to switch once each turn. And this is pretty good. I have actually played this. I played it with Palafin. That I think Palafin didn't work at the time, but this was before Pekka actually is better. But anyways, for that deck because it's a basic, but Gengar's ability is really good. Theoretically, I mean, just a free switch every turn is nice. It stops you from getting trapped as well, so that's cool.
Hmm. So are we taking Diplin off the list or not? I don't remember
Oh
what we
no, I
said
think
there.
we kept it there.
We're keeping Diplin, okay, and we're keeping we got rid of Togekiss, okay.
Yeah,
So wait, so you're talking about the Latias, and then
then
you talked
Gengar,
about
which is
Gengar.
better Latias. So I'm gonna remove Latias, I guess, because we're mostly talking about ignoring stage here, which is
Well, wait,
fine.
Gengar does
Just
is
a
that never?
switch every turn. There was a
Well,
or
what
no
about
Dragonite with free retreat every turn as well, but I think
right?
the
Is
switch is
Dragonite better?
better. Well, because you can retreat in addition, so you can get a double switch using Gengar, and also you can get retreat locked using certain things as well. So Gengar would bypass that. So I think it's just objectively better.
Okay, I didn't have Gengar, but I had the Dragonite, so I will put on. I'll put the Gengar in, and I will get rid of Dragonite.
Yeah, I don't mean even
I'll
a
do
lot.
that.
Yes, I think Gengar's like good. Well, no, I mean Gengar isn't good. I think the ability is good.
Yeah.
It's not like insane, but it's definitely pretty nice. Like if this was a basic, it would probably be played in almost every deck.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, even we have things which I don't have down like Pekaron EX, right? Is that the one that poisons in
Yeah,
switches?
yeah, and Lattice actually is like played in most decks, honestly. So
You're right. Latias sees a lot of play, so because it's a basic, which
yeah,
is a huge deal. So yeah, Gengar. Yeah, it definitely goes in the one where stage is not included, right, on that list.
yeah. And I think we're more focusing on that one now. Anyways,
Yeah.
maybe not.
Oh, I have an attacking Kabutops. We didn't talk about
Oh,
that
okay. I
because
was
we
wondering if you had that one.
Yeah, that's actually number one on my list, not necessarily number one. It's the first one I clicked on because it
How
evolves.
is? Oh, it evolves from ancient, um, antique dome fossil or something. That's why
Yes,
it's
alphabetically, it was the first one when I was going through the list. That's why it's there. So what it does is you get four times weakness, which is very good.
or
I
your
don't think it's
opponents
good
have four
for your
times
opponent's
weakness.
Pokemon. Yeah, not to you. So it's good. I don't think it's going to make the top 10 list though. What do you
Yeah,
think?
it's like a cool card. It's pretty niche, honestly. Like I've never seen anyone play this, but yeah, it's funny.
Right, and the fact that it evolves from a fossil makes it tougher to get in play too. But even if it evolved from a Pokemon or was a lower, if it's stage, even if it's stage one, it would see some play. But you also have to then worry about the meta and worry about is weakness what you need to take advantage of for your deck too, which reduces the general usefulness of it.
Yeah, it's a funny card, but it's pretty niche. And I've seen other cards like it, and none of them have really been that good or like that workable. And then wait, what was it? I
Yeah.
was talking about Gengar and stuff like that. Then I guess I'll talk about double or no hops double. This one accelerates or no, sorry, this one gusts on play. It's a stage one, but on play from hand or on evolution from hand, then you gust, and that's pretty good, right? It's not insane, but it's like good.
Yeah. No, the ability is very good and on play, gusting ability. Where obviously be better if it wasn't on play. The thing that keeps it down now is, I mean, if you're playing a hops deck, you're playing it probably.
I don't know. I don't think they usually
Maybe not.
do. The hop
Um,
deck's like kind of weird, honestly.
yeah, it can go in anything. It doesn't have to be the hops deck, but it's an evolution. It's on play, and the attack isn't very good, right? So if you put this obviously on a good attacker, all of a sudden it shoots up a lot.
Yeah, again, if this is on Ragdoll, it'd be really good. But I think it's just not. I don't know. It's like pretty solid. I don't think it quite makes it.
I think we have other things that are going to be better. I think so. Say no. It wasn't on my list at this
Oh,
point.
okay,
I
yeah,
gotta
yeah,
say.
that's fine.
Okay. What do you want to do? I mean, I have some weird things too. I think along the way.
Yeah, do we want to go weird now?
I think so. We have there's like energy acceleration, which there's some good, but that gets pretty boring, right? So let me say there's Kofagrigus EX, where if you're
Oh,
KO'd, do you, I don't
how I
I mean
forgot
that's a
that
very
that
good
code
ability.
existed. Yeah,
How quickly I got to play that one again actually because
you play
it, it
that.
I had a deck
Oh,
with
and
it
there's
and
a single
it's
prize Cofagrigus as well, which can damage the Cofagrigus EX.
so it if a Pokemon's knocked out by damage, you use for your opponent's attack, then you search your deck for a card put in your hand, and you can't get disrupted, right? Because your opponent's turn's ended. So it's better than in a set probably the card that your attack searches for a card, right? Because you could lose it. So you don't want to get knocked out, but you will. So Coco Vergurgus EX isn't the best attacker, but it was on a good attacker. That ability would be, I think, excellent.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the attack isn't like that bad though. I because I
No.
looked at it, I was like, what? This is like almost the same attack as Dragapult VMAX, which is similar to Dragapult EX. But anyways, yeah, it's like it's okay. I don't think it's there. This is like a search one. Let's talk about search ones now, then I guess.
All right, so I'll get rid of Kofagrigis EX. No, no love there. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. You can play your Kofagrigus stack and see how that goes. But
Okay.
I'll talk about a card that I play some, and that card is Pidgeot EX. That is a kind of good ability with Quick Search. It's played a lot. It's played some now. It's not played insane amounts, but it's played a decent amount. And
Yeah.
it lets you search for a card every turn. You can't use more than one Quick Search. I also do have Mamoswine EX to search for any Pokemon. I think it's
Yeah.
kind of bad, or not like bad, but I think it's just worse than Pidgeot. But I do have it here. And let's. I'm just gonna list off all the ones I have right now, actually.
For searching.
Yeah, search slash draw. So I got
Okay.
Drakeloak, of course, would look at the top two, put one to your hand, put the other one on the bottom. If Enzorg EX, oh, I guess this one, counting for stage, discard one, draw two. Then I
Yeah.
have the Tinkaton, discard one, draw three on a stage two. And there's
Yeah.
Noctowl on evolution, search for two trainers if you have a Terra in play. I also have Pelipper, this one with the ability Hearsay on evolution from hand. You either get a supporter from your deck or from your discard into your hand. Kind of fun. And then also Squawkabilly EX, I got Squawk and Seize.
Yeah.
Feznippy EX with Flip the Script. And I got to Dunsparce. To Dunsparce, I think we need to have a conversation about the Dunsparce here. But
He's my boy.
no, I'm going to say
Come
good
on.
things about the Dunsparce for once.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going through my list here. Talk about something for a minute, would you?
Yeah, okay, okay. So I think Pheasant Nifty EX, even on higher evolutions, is good. I think it's like just crazy good. I think like Squawkabilly is still good, but I don't think it's quite as good. I think Knocked Owl is good, and so I think that's like, and I think that's good. I think Pidgeot's like obviously it's insane on like a lower evolution, and honestly Mamoswine on like a lower evolution would be good. But I've just never been a big fan of these abilities. And then I think Enzoric EX is also like
Okay.
pretty good. It's kind of weird, but yeah,
Yeah, I took ends off, but it belongs on the list just because in a vacuum, the Tinkaton is just way better, right?
yeah.
So, but obviously, if you taking a stage into account, and Zorak is better. All right, so let me see what I had. You Tinkaton, which we said. Did you say Thwacky, by the way?
I did not say Thwacky. I originally had
I'm.
it, or I don't know if I had it, but I don't have it here.
It's it's really good. It's right. It's like Pidgeot, which might be the best of these cards, except it's better because you can stack it.
And it's on stage one.
And it's on a stage one, not a stage two. It's on a single prize. You just need a Pokemon with the ability to be active, but it's pretty good, right? I also have Tatsugiri. I don't think you said that.
Oh, I did not. Tatsugiri is like
You,
solid, looking at the top six, getting a supporter. Oh, I misspelled it.
mhm.
But I don't
And I
know.
you don't love it. All right, so I'll get rid of Tatsugiri. It's a good card. It's on a basic, so it's got all those single prizes. It's got the things going for it, and it sees some play, but not a ton. So that's fair.
Yeah.
And did you say Mew EX, by the way?
I did not. I feel like Drawtil 3 is just like fine. Like it's definitely. I feel like it's substantially weaker than Squawkabilly EX, and even
Okay.
weaker than
Well,
Pheasant Nifty EX.
all right, let's talk Squawkabilly a minute because that's definitely on my list. It's very good. The downside, of course, is the biggest thing is it's turn one only. So,
Yeah,
what do we do about that?
it would be really bad on evolution.
That is true. So, is it top 10? Is it making the top 10? It's
Uh,
very good.
it's good. I kind of just don't want to put it on the top 10 because it's like played too much, and I think it's like worse than Pheasant Nifty. Um,
Okay. I mean, right now we have 7 cards, which we
we
could cut
do.
a couple.
I don't know what we
Well,
have.
this is what I have. I have Mimikyu. I have Cornerstone Max Ogerpon, Bramblegast, Feraligatr, Dusknoir, Gengar, Pidgeot. I wrote down Pidgeot EX because
Yeah, no,
it's
I'm
going
definitely not
on.
putting that one.
So that's what I have. We might disagree about a couple of those, but probably have at least five, half of the top 10 at this point.
Yeah, I think we keep Fez. I'm gonna cut Squawkabilly. Like it maybe deserves to be there, but I don't really feel like putting it on honestly. Like it's good. Again, it is only one turn, and it doesn't like
Right.
I don't know. It's a good card obviously, but and it has low HP, so like it could get better as well. But I don't know. I just don't truly love it. Also, do you have Fan Rotom? I know you were talking about that one before. I think that one's like
I took it out eventually.
yeah, I think that one's like
Um,
definitely worse and like relatively weak.
yeah, I mean it's yeah, it's only turn one. You could make it for a different type potentially, but it's actually for a really good type. So, I don't know that makes it. I think so. You don't not a fan of the Thwacky, right? Because of the limitation.
Yeah, it's like it's okay. It's a cool card. It's a card I like, but it's not quite that
That's
good.
fine. No, I will delete Thwacky from my list. And the Tinkaton definitely like when you take away stage, right? It's on that list, right?
Yeah, I
There's no
think
doubt.
yeah.
You discard one, draw three.
Yeah, I think Enzoric EX isn't like awesome. I think Dracloak doesn't belong there. Definitely. Right.
Um, yeah, I think that's fine. Get rid
And
of the
probably not
Drake.
Pelipper. Probably not Knocked Out either. Knocked Out has limitations. Knocked Out's okay. I mean, Knocked Out's pretty good. Um, but
Um, oh yeah, I had Noctowl on the
oh, did we
list, I
talk
think,
about
somewhere.
Quaquaval? I don't think I mentioned that one either. That one's also good. Put one card from your hand in the bottom, then draw till you're five. It's a stage two, but it's like kind of like Tinkaton. I actually don't know which one's better. Tinkaton, maybe. I'm not really sure.
Well, wait, the Quaquaval. Well, Tinkaton's draw one, draw discard one, draw three, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's saying. So that's really good. Wait, the Tinkaton, is that what the Tinkaton does?
Yeah, yeah. And then the Quaquaval is you put a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck, draw till you have five.
Yeah,
Just
it's
like
not always going to be better, right? You draw until five, right?
yeah, you draw until five.
So it depends. Yeah, obviously, it's deck dependent, right? What type of thing are you pairing it with? Because um,
Yeah, I'm gonna get
some
rid of
decks tend
Noctowl,
to.
I decided.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, Noctowl. I mean, it's very good, right? I mean, it's kind of like Drizzile. Drizzile was pretty insane.
Knocked out. Oh yeah,
Um,
it kind of is. I don't
knocked.
know. I think not, but it's like more specific and it's kind of deck dependent.
All right, I'll get rid of it, but I'm not altogether happy about that, is what I'll say. So for the Noctowl fans, I'm going along
I like knocked
begrudgingly.
out. I like knocked out, but I don't think it
Okay.
belongs here. Anyways, then I have so I think that's mostly it for those. I do have Enzor. I kind of want to cut it because
Wait.
it is worse than
Oh, and
Tinkaton.
yeah, I mean, obviously it's more viable and stand the way it is, but the less it's less interesting, right, to put it in.
Yeah.
I would say. So yeah, I think get rid
Oh,
of
I just
ends.
saw another defensive ability, which should we talk? We'll talk about it now, I guess, because I saw it. It's
I,
Rabska.
oh yeah, I have Rabska down, which
Yeah,
is great, and I
it's like
think
good. Yeah.
I think once you get remove the stage, right, it's top 10 without taking if it was on a basic, right, it
I
would be like
guess.
in
I mean, it's a
every
card
deck.
that's like played a lot, but it's also not like. I mean, it's like situational. But I guess
Yeah,
it would be played a lot, right?
plus it stops like Dragapult's damage
Yeah. No,
counters
it's
and such
good.
too.
It's a very good card.
So I mean I think it goes. I think it doesn't work. It doesn't see play now as a stage one, but I think if it was on a basic, it would see.
Yeah,
It
and
would
it's
be
not like it
very
doesn't
good.
see any play either. It does see some
Right.
from time to time. And then I have. Then we need to talk about the Dunsparce. I think that's the last search Pokemon slash draw.
So hang on, you didn't like Mamoswine, right?
Oh no, I don't think. Oh, I didn't talk about that really. But yeah, it's like it's okay. I mean, it's just a good card, I guess. But or it's a good
It
ability
searches for a
on like a
Pokemon
lower
if you don't
lower
remember.
stage. Yeah.
Did you say? Do we say talk about Pheasantipity by the way? Just trying to
Oh, not
hit the.
really. I mean, I said like include it. It's just very good. More so
Does
if you
it
want
go in the top
stage.
10?
Top
Do you
10
think
with stage.
with stage? Okay, that's fine. So okay, all right. So go on. Talk about the interesting thing.
Yeah, so Dunsparce is a card. First of all, so it says once during your turn, you may draw 3 cards. Then, if you drew any cards in this way, you shuffle this Pokemon and it'll attach cards into your deck. Obviously, the draw 3 is cool. It's not the strongest draw Pokemon in the game. I certainly have said that repeatedly that I think it's kind of bad at draw, but it also returns itself to the deck, which means it heals off all the damage. Imagine this on Dragapult, you hit into it and you don't knock them out, and then they draw 3 and heal up completely. Like this is good on like in different ways, and I also have Abra here, which with the teleporter ability, once during your turn, goes back into the deck if it's in your active. But that's worse. We won't talk about Abra, but Dust or Dunsparce again, it like essentially heals up and allows you to reuse stuff as well. If you have an ability or a
Yeah.
basic with an on-play ability, then you can reuse that. So it's kind of crazy. Theoretically, it's like weird. It's really weird.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, I think it's a solid engine now because the engines are a little weak now. Anyway, I think it's pretty solid. I like it. It goes back in, so as the game goes on, your deck gets thinner. You get them back pretty decently. Yeah. If you put it on Dragapult EX, obviously that test it's busted. If you put it on um uh the big dragon Pokemon, right? I'm blanking the name right
Raging
now.
Bolt,
Raging Bolt, it's
just like the
busted, and
less
then
big
some.
than Dragapult, but.
Yeah, but obviously, plus you discard all your energy off the raging bolt when you attack. So you're not always getting one shot. So when you don't, you getting him out of play is what you want because you just ditch his energy, and it'd be pretty. Any good attacking Pokemon, it would be insane on. So yeah. So you think it's a contender for
I
the
think
list at
so.
least?
It's really unique. It's my second most unique card on this list.
Okay. Um, do you have something else, or do you want me to toss a
I could
couple out
go,
quickly?
yeah, or no, I could go. Should we do like energy acceleration? I think that's the last main category here to talk about like energy stuff.
Yeah, I think I have a couple I forgot along the way.
Oh,
I
okay,
have
we can
Relicanth.
cover this.
Do you want to talk about that? Anything with
Oh, I didn't
Relicanth?
have. I
You
mean,
think it's
not
not that good? It lets you copy attacks of pre-evolutions, right? You don't think it's good enough?
no. I mean, it's like interesting. It's a cool card, but it's pretty situational. And it's not like it could really get much better either. Because it could
Yeah.
have like good attacks, but that's not what we're
Okay.
using.
All right. So the Wheezing, I got to talk about
Oh, I
him
didn't. Yeah, I had that, and I decided not to talk about it.
well, look, I know we're getting long here, right?
Nah,
So,
it's fine. It's fine.
but especially if you put this on a good attacker, let's have a blast ability. If this Pokemon is the active spot and is knocked out by damage from attack from host Pokemon, flip a coin. If heads, the attacking Pokemon is knocked out. So I put this on a Raging Bolt. You got the knockout this turn. Oh, by the way, 50-50 chance I knock you out too. Again, it's pretty nuts in that sense, right?
Yeah, this card is pretty good. It's kind of weird. Again, I don't like this. It reminds me a lot of Togekiss. I like Togekiss less, but I definitely am not a big fan of this card. But yeah, do you think it belongs here?
It's you just don't like it, right?
Yeah, but that's not really a great reason. Well,
I
we kept
get
something
it.
else off for that
It's
reason. Oh, the
very
Togekiss, I
good.
think. But if you want on, we can on.
The other card which I'll put in here too, which you probably like even less. I love it. Is Glimora. If this
Yeah,
Pokemon's knocked out, flip a coin. If heads, they don't take a prize. So
but
yes,
that's
you're
like
knocked out,
worse
but
than Skiploom, there, right?
uh, I guess because you take the damage, they don't get the prize, right?
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine. So Glimora's out. Fair enough. Do you think the Weezing makes the list?
I think the Weezing is okay. I think it's just off. I'm not sure. It's like not like insanely strong. It's decently strong, but
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you wouldn't want to see this ability on a really good Pokemon in the game now. That it, in that sense, it's a very good ability.
yeah.
But we're kind of around the 10 mark now, so for the card. So let's get rid of the Weezing.
Yeah,
Okay,
our
that's
list is
fine.
definitely gonna be like really weird at the end, and probably not very good, but that's fine. That's fine. So then I have wait, I still have Iron Bundle. I feel like Iron Bundle is not that good. Oh, we didn't talk about that one. I
Mhm.
feel like we can
Oh,
get rid of that.
the Iron Pokemon, and I have three, so I'll just
Oh,
toss
you
them
do?
quickly here. And I had a fourth, which I ditched. Well, Iron Crown plus 20 damage, which stacks, is good. It's not making the list, right?
Yeah, no.
Iron Thorns,
Oh, I think I do
very
have that one.
good.
Yep.
So should we talk about that now quickly?
Yeah, yeah. Iron Thorns EX. Wait, the Iron Thorns. Yeah, EX.
Yeah, Iron Thorns EX ability locks your opponent. It's very
And you.
good. And you. So doesn't make the list, maybe?
No, I don't think so. I also have Klefki and Fluttering. I don't think any of them make the list personally. They're like all right. They're pretty strong, but they're not like
Mhm.
absolutely insane in my opinion. I don't know. They're pushing it, but I don't think they're quite there.
Okay, I've got. Well, there's Tyranitar with item lock. You don't want that either, right?
No, I had that on the list. Or actually no, Tyranitar I think is better. Um, item locking in the active is like really good.
Right.
Obviously Badoo's good. Badoo is like I mean, obviously it's a good attack, but it's not in terms of damage. I mean, it just item locks pretty much, does just almost no damage. So if you had like an
Right.
attack that was even okay and the item lock ability, that would be pretty insane.
Right. It's a stage two, so that's what brings
Oh
it
yeah,
down in actual play. But just for people, and the attacks, it's okay. The attack, it's not terrible. But do you think item lock is something that could make the top 10 or no?
I think it could. I think it could.
All right, so I'll write down Tyranitar. Did we put Latias on the list? We did not, right?
No.
Okay, I'm just trying to clean up because there's the energy stuff. I'm just trying to get rid of the other stuff quickly. There's something like what about the ones that reduce attack cost? That's the
Yeah.
same thing as energy
I
acceleration
have it
for you?
grouped in there for me. Yeah.
No, that's fine. Okay, so
Oh, I realized I have a few last ones that aren't that as well. And we'll cover them later, actually. That's fine.
so go ahead to the energy stuff. I
Oh, and then
think.
I think we said no to Iron Bundle, right? We'll say no to it.
Uh,
It's okay.
right. No. Oh, I had. What about? Okay, no, I'll save this one. This is well, Iron Leaves, which will
Okay,
make
yeah.
the transition to the energy acceleration. How about that?
Yeah,
I don't know if you had it on the list.
I did not know.
When it goes in play, it can swing into the active, so it's a switching, and you can move as much energy from your other Pokemon to it as you want, and of any types you want. So, it's a grass colorless. So you don't think it makes the list?
No, I think it's kind of weak. Like, I think Armrouge is better. I don't think Armrouge is that good, but I think it's a little bit better. Um, yeah, I mean, it doesn't get energy on the board. Like the other ones we're going to talk about are really good.
Okay,
This one I think isn't very good.
that's fine.
Again, I think Armrouge also doesn't make it. What do you think?
I mean, Iron Leaves is good because it hit Charizard for weakness, right? That's
Yeah.
and we're in a vacuum, so that goes away. Armor well, what else is there that moves energy well? There's energy. Energy moving's a thing, though, right?
Yeah, there's Blissey. I don't even have Blissey. I don't think any of the energy moving is honestly just that good. I mean, it's okay, but it's a little situational for me.
Okay, so you want to ditch Armor I'm fine with that. There's some very good energy acceleration. So, um, yeah. What do we got there? We got well, Charizard EX,
Oh, yeah, I
three
don't have
fire.
that. That probably should be there.
Obviously, it's a really good attacker and such, so that skews in its favor. But for this, we're taking those things away. It accelerates three fire to anything, though, so it could obviously switch types. We have the new Marnie's Pokemon, which is it just you can play it out the Marnie's Grimmsnarl. That accelerates five, which is insane, but only to Marnie's. So What do you think? So go on. So
I think
what are your
not Grimmsnarl. I think that's a little niche.
okay?
I think probably not Charizard as well. I don't know. It's okay. It's pretty solid. There's some other ones that are also good. I have Bloodmoon Saluna. I think Bloodmoon Saluna doesn't stay. This is like the fighting acceleration from hand as well. I think that's probably actually worse than Charizard.
Okay, I mean Blood Moon is good, but it's partly why the ability is good is because the Pokemon's good. The HP's high on the Pokemon, and the attack
No,
is high.
no, Bloodmoon
Oh, not the
Saluna,
EX.
not the
Oh,
EX.
the base, the single prize. Yeah. I mean, it was yes. I mean, there were other older cards that were good like it, but yeah, I ditched the single prize from my list.
Yeah, and then yeah, I think also not Charizard. I'm just not really feeling it. I don't think it's quite there. And then oh, I realize I have a couple other disruption ones. But anyways, then there's this is kind of messy to sort through.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
Teal Mess Ogre that one's good. Accelerating from hand and drawing cards is nice.
yeah, I didn't put it on the list because it's one energy, it's one card,
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
it works in certain decks, is what I'll say. But it's not it's not a great engine in of itself, and you don't usually necessarily want to attack with it.
Yeah, I guess
Um,
Zadu would also be better. I don't think Zadu makes a list though. It's
no,
pretty
I
good.
didn't put. It is. I got rid of it before. So what about Chen Pao and Baxcalibur? Right,
Yeah. Okay,
Baxcalibur
I don't think not
unlimited.
Chimpao.
Not Chen Pao. Okay, because it searches for energy, and that's fine. So, but the Baxcalibur unlimited water acceleration.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good, honestly. Like, obviously being stage two is kind of awkward and doesn't have like Chimp has a good partner, but it's not insanely perfect. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, if it wasn't a stage two, I think it goes on the not. Once you take the stage, if it was a basic, right, it would be pretty insane.
yeah. So I think Excalibur can definitely be here. I'm looking at the other ones. I have some attack cost reducing ones. I have again Bulldmore Luna EX, which does one less colorless for each prize your opponent's taken, which can be good. We're kind of assuming
Yeah.
it like works, kind of how it normally works. And then maybe my favorite ability in the game, which isn't like super good, but it's Tuning Echo on Noivern, which says you can attack for free if you have the same. Well, it's your attack, but we're assuming it's the attack it has. You attack for free if you have the same number of cards in hand as your opponent, which I like. I know there's also some other ones like that, but I think this is definitely the best.
I looked at it, laughed like I laughed now, and I deleted it and I didn't even put it on my list. So
But it's awesome and broken.
it's silly fun. I mean, it can work, but it's a weird one, right? You're
Yeah, so it's a no. It sounds like it's a no.
I don't think it's an. I think it's a no. I think the one that's better is Incineroar EX. I think
Yeah.
for
Oh, yeah, that's
similar,
better than Blood Moon Ursalina. Yeah, because I forgot I
I
have
think
that.
that's the best one, right,
Yeah,
of
it
this
attacks for one
category.
less for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon, which will presumably have a bunch of one colorless less. And then, yeah, it's just a good card. It's a good ability.
So
Well, it's
I
not a
think
good
this
card. It's an okay card.
it probably goes. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's okay the way it is. If it was on a better Pokemon, it could be very good, right?
Yeah, it could be. It needs a good attack, but it's a solid. Then there is, I think that's it for energy stuff for me.
Gardevoir.
Oh, Gardevoir, I have that one too. Yes.
So that's kind of busted. It has been busted, right?
Yeah, I think it does
Um,
do a lot of self damage, which can be bad. It's from the discard. I
yes.
think Excalibur's might be better. Like Gardevoir has great synergies in standard, but I think in a vacuum, they're really close. I guess we probably keep Gardevoir too.
I mean, getting it for the discard pile is pretty good. So okay, let me just take a look when might be missing. So we ditched Noctowl, by the way. Okay, I'm just and all right. Dragonite. No, okay, so let me think here. But
And I do have
sorry,
a
I had
few
one.
more abilities as well to cover. Um,
Yeah, what's Sandy Shocks do? I have a
Oh,
Sandy
Sandy
Shocks down.
Shock's EX, I assume. That accelerates
Yeah,
fighting from the
the
discard to
EX.
itself. If your opponent's taken, or if your opponent has four fewer prizes remaining, it's definitely an interesting card. It's not like insane though. It's all right.
Okay, Magneton. That's not making it, I assume,
Yeah, I don't think
either. So
so.
Sandy Shocks is out. Magneton's out. Okay, so go ahead. So what do you have?
So I have a few left that are weird. I have. Wait, we didn't really talk about. No, did we? Yeah, we did talk about Rapska. I got Scatterbug, slash the whatever the stage one is,
Yes.
Spupa or something, which evolves turn one or instantly. So that's kind of good.
Right, that's really good. Yeah. Obviously it's type dependent. If it's on a final evolution, it wouldn't be very good, would it? So,
Yes.
put it on your state. That one does. That's the one ability that does not make Dragapult any EX any better, right?
Yeah. They
Yeah,
evolve
because
into
because
a
initially,
Mega Dragapult EX.
because initially I was thinking like the EV that could evolve when it's in the active, but then wait, Scatterbug is just way better, right? I mean, it might
Yeah.
not evolve to better things, but this ability is great. So yeah, does this make the list?
I think it might. I mean, I'm gonna put it there. Then I have Luxray as well, which you can just play down if you're down on prizes.
Yeah, I'm always the things where you have to be down on prizes. It makes it very much a secondary or tertiary thing in my decks. I got to say, so I find it hard to put on the list myself because of that. Because you can't always do it, right? There's times because I'm always ahead in prizes and winning, so it
Exactly,
doesn't
exactly.
work so well for me.
Yeah. No, I think Luxray probably not there. Um, and then I have two disruptive abilities. I have Espathra EX, which is your opponent's active cost one colorless more if we're taking stage into account.
Hmm.
There's also that on a basic for basic Pokemon, which says it's the ability Primal Root as long as your opponent's active Pokemon, no, as long as this is in your active spot, attacks used by your opponent's basic Pokemon cost one colorless more. It's on your favorite Pokemon Antique Root fossil, and got that there.
Okay,
Now, Antique Root fossil
yeah,
is funny. I just wanted to kind of mention it. It's probably not there, right?
yeah, and I didn't put Espathra on my list either. I got to say,
Yeah.
I looked at it. I didn't think it was that good. So, do
And
you
I
have anything else?
Yeah, I
I
have
think I
one
have
last
one.
one. And this is one oh wait, what's yours?
I have one as well. What about Weavile?
Oh,
You didn't
Weavile.
say
Yeah, that's okay.
when
It's when it switches in, then you gust.
when it moves from the bench to your active spot, you can then switch your opponent's bench
Basic.
to the active. A basic, yeah.
Yeah,
So it
it's
does,
okay. It's
with that
niche.
caveat, no, it doesn't make the list. Okay, so
Yeah.
what do you got to close
This
us
one
out
you're
here?
gonna complain about because this is the weirdest one. This is the ability on Palafin, zero to hero, which says once take a turn, this Pokemon moves from the active to the bench. You can search a deck for a Palafin EX and switch it with this Pokemon. Then any attached cards, damage counters, special conditions, turns in play, and any other effects remain on the new Pokemon. If you switched a Pokemon in this way, put this card into your deck, then shuffle your deck.
Yeah, I mean, it's only good because Palafini X is good, right? So I
Yeah.
think so. Assuming in a vacuum, it's not paired with this other really good Pokemon, and Palafini X has the ability you can't play it otherwise. Otherwise, you wouldn't worry about this, right? To get it into
Yeah, but
play.
imagine this was on a basic and it got Dragapult turn one. No, it's not very good. It's like funny.
Okay,
It's like weird.
I
Anyways.
yeah. Now there is just like probably if we're going for worst abilities, a few really bad abilities.
Oh,
The
there are.
Palafini
Yeah.
probably is the worst ability, right? You can,
Uh, Probably. Yeah.
I mean, that's the one that you'd discard 5 cards from hand, I think, when
I
you
think it's from
attack, or if
deck.
it's in the active.
Yeah. There's two that mill five from you, and then there's one where you like can't always attack, and then
Yeah.
there's another one that I'm forgetting, and there's Palafin which is you can't play it. So
So look, if you want a future podcast on the worst abilities,
yeah.
let
Yeah.
us
I
know
did
in
a
the
video on that.
comments.
I did that in the video as well.
Okay, so we could discuss. So, all right, let me give the recap, and we have I don't know how many we
I
have,
have
and we might
19
want to.
right now.
I have less than that.
Oh,
So
I've
I
okay.
I I wrote so I have Mimikyu,
Yeah.
Cornerstone Mask Ogrepon, Bramblegast, Feraligatr, Dusknor, Gengar, Pidgeot EX, Pheasantipity, the Dunsparce, Tyranitar, Incineroar EX, and Scatterbug. And I do have
Did you have
Skeledirge, Tink.
Bax Caliber and Gardevoir? EX.
Oh, no, I didn't. I guess those go down too. And Baxcalibur's got to go.
Okay.
Okay, down.
So I guess we'll do a top 10 here because I feel like we like said we're gonna do that. So in terms of with accounting for stage, I think you have.
Yeah,
I'm actually gonna make a duplicate of this. So how do I do this? So I think accounting for stage, you have Pheasant Dipty EX there. Probably Squawkville EX goes there, but we got rid of it, so we're not doing that.
right. Yeah, Pheasantipity. What else has to go there? Pidgeot EX has to go there, right? It's a stage
Yeah.
2, but it's still insane.
Yeah, I think the Dunsparce is still really interesting. I think that I don't know, maybe
Okay.
not, but oh, Mimikyu, and Ogerpon. I think all the basics stay.
Mimikyu, Ogrepon.
Goldeen. Oh, you said Diplin, but yeah, Goldeen is better because it's a basic.
Yeah. So Goldeen. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of Gengar. Probably Tinkaton and Quaquaval are kind of bad. Um, and
All right.
Baxcalibur and
Probably
Gardevoir,
we
I
want
think is good.
Guard. I think Gardevoir and Vex. Well,
Would they stay or they get discarded?
Well, they're really good though, aren't they? Unlimited energy acceleration is very good in the
Yeah,
game
that's
too,
fair.
though.
I'm getting rid of Rabska, and I'm getting rid of Feraligatr. It's a little niche.
Oh, okay. You love that guy
I
though.
do love Feraligatr. Maybe we just keep all the basics. And then Incineroar is like niche. I think Skeletor
Yeah.
is kind of niche.
Yeah. Well, Skeledirge is I think when we don't have evolutions possibly, but
Yeah,
it's not with evolution consideration. It doesn't make it for sure.
yeah. Oh, I guess I have
Um,
Tyranitar here with a Tyranitar, and I guess the Dunsparce is like funny, but like a little. I don't know. I have Brambleghast, the Dunsparce, Pheasantipity, Baxcalibur, Mimikyu, Pidgeot, Gardevoir, Scatterbug, Ogerpon, Dustour, and Goldeen.
wait, you have 10.
I
You
have
still
11
wait,
right now.
wait Mimikyu, Ogerpon, Gramblegast, no Dusknoir,
No, I got.
or do
Oh,
you
I
have
do. Yeah, I
Dusknoir?
have Dustour.
Okay, and Gengar you got rid of.
I did get rid of Gengar.
Okay, and you got rid of Tyranitar and Incineroar EX.
Hmm.
You keep Scatterbug,
Yeah, I do have Scatterbug still.
and do you get what about Gardevoir and Baxcalibur?
I do have both of those, and then Pheasantipity, the Dunsparce, and Pidgeot.
Okay,
Oh,
uh, yeah,
oh, there's
yeah.
also
So
the
you have
stage
11.
one. There's Spupa as well, but Spupa sounds good. Stage, it's better on a basic.
Yeah, I mean it's the same. It's right. We're not putting them both down. So we have
Oh,
11. So
random.
we have
Sorry, random thing. You can't rare candy Spupa turn one. The more you know, but it
okay.
doesn't really matter.
So all right. Well, we look the way this podcast is going. Having 11 in our top 10, I think, is fine. Right?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
fine. That's
gonna.
fine.
And then you have probably Skeletor's, Ticketon, and Rapska. If maybe not Rapska, if we take into account if we discard evolutions.
Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of. Let's see, what don't we want? I think. I'm not really sure on this. This is kind of messy. Wait, what do you say? I think we get rid of
Well, I think we want to add Skeletor's and Ticketon, right? If we if we discard.
and Quaquaval. I think is pretty good.
Okay.
Let's see, get rid of Ogerpon and Mimikyu. I guess they're like good, but they're not
If they
insane.
weren't basics, they would suffer a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, probably. Um, I mean, if Pheasant Dippy was an evolution, would you still play? You probably would drop it too.
I think you'd
I don't
still
know.
play it. It's like pretty good still.
It is.
And then you have. Let's give it a Scatterbug. That like is kind of weird here.
Yeah.
I got
Okay.
16 now, which is like a lot still. And I think Incineroar is like not. Wait, I don't. I'm not really feeling Incineroar. It's okay. Actually, no. It's kind of weird. I feel like it's kind of weird to project.
Okay. No, I thought we didn't have Incineroar.
Oh, we
I thought we
don't. Okay,
dropped that.
then I
Yeah.
get rid of it.
So yeah, all right. So you should read off the list that we got, and that's just, I think is closer. It's hard because things are very divergent, right? It's these abilities do very different things, so it's really hard to compare them.
Yeah, so I got Brambleghast, Dunsparce, Pheasantipede EX, Baxcalibur, or maybe I should be reading the ability names. I'm gonna do that. I changed mine. Resilient Soul, Runaway Draw, Flip the Script, Super Cold, Torrential Heart, Incendiary Song, Quick Search, Psychic Embrace, Spherical Shield, Cursed Blast, Night Gate, Festival Lead, Daunting Gaze, Up Tempo, and Gather Materials. Everyone's 15 favorite abilities.
So there you have it. I'm going to sum us up, bring us out of here. I think the definitive top 10 list of the top 10 abilities in Pokemon TCG Standard as of today. So let us know in the comments on our YouTube channels what you think we got wrong, because everyone's going to have some different opinions. What you think we got right, and hopefully you found this interesting discussion. It's always fun to discuss the cards that aren't at the top of the game. So that's the idea of a discussion like this today. So. Yeah, so anyway, hopefully you liked it. Comment, like, subscribe to our videos, and we'll talk to you in another week.
See ya.